Hey guys, it's Gigi and welcome to this week's video. Today I want to talk about why you should do stuff anyways. Because I think a lot of us have problems just getting things started, especially when you deal with things like anxiety. So let me get right into it.
So let's get started.
Technically, when it comes to wanting to do things, the only thing stopping you is your limiting beliefs or the law. Besides that, anxiety wants you to live comfortably and avoid hardship and challenge. Sure, it can keep you safe, but if you do give into it, it will prevent growth. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I would think capitalism wants us to believe that exponential growth is the only way forward. I do think it's okay to take a break sometimes, but if you do want to improve and step out of your shell and eventually not really overcome anxiety, but like learn to deal with it better or manage it better, putting yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone does help. Another thing I know I deal with social anxiety specifically is the weight of opinions. I realized as a kid, I would kind of take everything from everyone in and internalize it and reflect all the time, and that was of course very draining. But at the same time, opinions only matter if you add weight to them. Because another thing I realized, the more you don't care about what other people think, the easier it is to just do whatever that you wanted to do forever, regardless. Because for example, as a kid, my sister and I would make videos on YouTube, but back then, a lot of the things that we enjoyed talking about doing were very cringy. And I know when you're younger, it's much more important to fit in with other people, but I think that stopped us a lot from just doing things we wanted to do. Which doing things anyway, or at least trying to, regardless of circumstance, is reminding yourself it's in the realm of possibility. And comparing yourself to anybody else doesn't help either, but instead, comparing yourself to who you were before makes it easier to move forward. Also, setting your own goals for yourself that aren't reliant on outside things makes it a lot easier. I think it's called intrinsic motivation when you're self-motivated by your own goals and your own desires without it being affected by external factors. So for example, I think I might have talked about it on this channel once. I set a goal to post a video every Friday, and even though it's been kind of wonkier all over the place, now I'm doing weekends, it's still intrinsic because I, for myself, wanted to do that. Another thing is sometimes motivation isn't enough. So setting a deadline for when you have to start something, even if it isn't perfect, is good, because sometimes you'll end up waiting forever or waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Also, moving the goalpost before you even start can make it more intimidating, but taking smaller steps, for videos for example, my small step was to just post something on that Friday that I set to, regardless of the quality, because over time, the more you do something and the more you're comfortable with it, the better you'll get at it regardless. Which is why even when it comes to art, because I do a lot of art on my other channel, the more you do it, the better you get just because you kept at it. And another thing is when it comes to even digital art studies, the reason we, at least in school, did things as often as we did was to stop focusing on the smaller picture, focusing on the details too much. Because if you look at the bigger scope of things, there's these tiny goals slowly add up to something bigger. Even if you don't see the progress immediately, it's important to keep at it if you see a bigger picture. Another reason to do stuff anyways is you really only have one life, and I think everyone says that, which is obviously true. I always joke with my family members that no one makes it out of this life alive, which is true. Which is why, what do you have to lose besides time and your own, Besides that, if it's something you truly enjoy, you shouldn't be too bothered by what people think. At least if it's, within the bounds of what's right, if that makes sense. Regardless, people will always face criticism from people somewhere, somehow, at some time. But it's important to remember the tiny goals that you set and why you're still going. Anyways, my goal for this video isn't for it to be too long. I just wanted to make a video on why you should do things anyway, regardless. Because another thing is disappointing your younger self, especially if it's something they always wanted to do but kind of stopped because they were scared of what people thought. When it comes to social anxiety, I don't want to be bound by my anxieties anymore. I want to try, even if it's uncomfortable, to get somewhere, I've also always loved compiling videos, editing them, and putting them together since we were little. We used to make scenes on our old Fujifilm camera, and that was a lot of fun, and it still hasn't changed. Anyways, try to have fun with what you do. There's really, at the end of the day, what makes you happy is probably one of the best things that you can work on. And I'm really grateful that I do have time now to just do and try out some like new things. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it was helpful to you, make sure to leave a comment. And if you've been in a similar situation or have advice for others, feel free to comment as well. Other than that, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, that's it. Signing out.
Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks, guys.